Time to get into the top 10 quarterbacks on the free agent market. We're going to be ranking these guys from 1 all the way down to 10. But to be honest with you, number 1 is not really too big of a surprise, so we're just going to start it off right here. Dak Prescott, tagged last year by the Cowboys. I think you and I both anticipate probably going to get tagged again, but this is a player. At worst. But you could also make the argument here that, I mean, it's kind of crazy. He's been the number 1 free agent back-to-back years. Why is he still a free agent?
Because the Cowboys are weird. And they've made a big deal about how they don't want to be market setters because of everything that comes along with being a Cowboy, which isn't how it works.
I'm with you.
If the player buys into it, awesome. When they don't, you got to pivot and adjust. And Stephen Jones is really bad about that. Worst case, he gets franchise tagged this year, and then we get to 2022, and he might very well be gone. And if Dak hits the actual open market, if he plays like he has for his NFL career, and he's on the right side of 30, and he's a free agent, and he's coming off of a big year, and the salary cap's gone up, and all those things should probably happen, he's probably going to beat Mahomes' average per year money.
Wow.
Because if you're a team like Washington or Chicago or Indy, if Wentz doesn't work out, or the Saints or whoever, you got all this money, you're going to give it to the quarterback. Because you'd have a quarterback that you haven't seen on your franchise in a very, very long time.
So where's Dak going to play in 2021? If you think it's going to be the Dallas Cowboys, I want you to type C. If you think it's going to be somebody else, I want you to type O for other. But if you are typing that O for other, let us know who you think Dak's going to go to, because we definitely want to know. Number 2 on our top quarterback free agent list, it's Ryan Fitzpatrick. And also, the way that we did this ranking was kind of based off of mixed voting. But Tom and I disagree on some of these, we're just going to keep that out there. But Ryan Fitzpatrick, he's number 2 on our list.
If you want a reliable, emphasis on reliable, because we'll get to that part for number 3, hint, hint. You guys figure out who it is by now. Veteran stopgap guy that can be a mentor, can be a bridge, can start for you if you need him to. He's never going to win you a Super Bowl, but it's fine because you just have a vet stopgap option.
Sure.
Fitzpatrick is your best fit. If you're a team like Pittsburgh, if they were to move on from Big Ben, which seems unlikely. If you're a team like Washington, you need a quarterback for now.
Oh, yeah.
Fitzpatrick is a very quality option there.
And I mean, especially
once you make him the backup.
Yeah, if you make him the backup, he's going to be absolutely incredible. But when you talk about how good of a season this guy actually had, he was actually top 5, Tom, in QBR this past year. I mean, 77.3, which is actually a pretty impressive number.
It's a very good number.
For comparison, like a guy like Derek Carr was at 70, right? And I think QBR is a better way to measure how good a quarterback played. Now, the reason why he didn't start all these games, and for some of you are like, wait a minute, how did Tua play in 10 and Fitz play in 9? For some reason, the Miami Dolphins had this like starting pitching relief like closer role going on.
Because they opened the playbook up for Fitzpatrick.
But the playbook was a lot different for Tua. However, I was very impressed by the way Ryan Fitzpatrick played, but also by the way he carried himself. Because this was a team that they started to win some football games. They started to get it rolling, and then they just benched him.
They had to play Tua to see what they had in him because they have a top 3 pick.
But I think you hit the nail on the head. If you're a team that is trying to compete like Washington, go get Fitz. Or if you're a team that has a young quarterback and you want somebody to help teach them, Ryan Fitzpatrick. I don't know if you know this. He went to Harvard. Number 3 on our list here, it's Jameis Winston, where you want to talk about a roll of the dice, man. Here you go.
Hey.
Here you go.
We are on number 3, and 2 was Fitzpatrick. The free agency quarterback crop is nothing like what it was last year. So if you're looking towards free agency to find yourself a solution at quarterback, you're kind of already in trouble.
You're in trouble.
So you might as well gamble and make it interesting.
Okay.
I don't really think Winston's going to be the guy for anyone. Maybe the Saints bring him back and he thrives in the Sean Payton offense. We'll see. He's been the same guy he was really from day one at Florida State.
Yep.
Got a great arm, can sling it downfield, makes some awesome throws, and is a god-awful decision maker on and off field.
I was going to say, I'm glad you said god-awful because it says struggles, and I'm like, that's saying it nicely.
He's terrible. Like, hey, he threw
nicely.
I mean, 5,033 and 30.
I mean, we're going to look at this stat from, like, I'm going to say, like, 20, 30 years from now. We're like, there's no way that was right. Yes, so, it was right.
If you're going to gamble, make it interesting. Go with the wee baby Jameis.
Oh, my Lord. I mean, this is like not betting on red, not betting on black. You're betting on 00 green here.
Yeah, and if you hit, yeah.
Hey, okay.
It at least makes it interesting. The upside is there. So if you want to gamble on a starter, if you're desperate, I think Winston actually does make some sense.
Now, we're going to be keeping you guys updated here at Chat Sports. So if you want more NFL free agency updates, hit the big red button that says subscribe, and join our live shows as well. We go live every single Wednesday and Monday, 4 p.m. Eastern Time, 1 p.m. Pacific. But as soon as some of these quarterbacks start signing, we're going to be making videos around it. So you don't want to miss it. Subscribe, turn on those notifications. Let's go to the Cowboys starting quarterback for most of the season this year. Andy Dalton, the Red Rifle, number 4 on our list.
He is who we thought he is.
Yep.
And we let him off the hook. He's a fine backup, right? He's clearly not on the same level of the top-tier starting quarterbacks, which I thought we all knew, yet big media tried to tell you otherwise as it relates to Dalton and Dak. His best years are behind him.
No doubt.
He's not as mobile as he once was.
Correct.
If you need a veteran who can start some games for you and could probably get you around 500, probably a little bit less, depending on how good your supporting cast actually is. If you want someone to help push a younger starting quarterback, be it a rookie or someone like a Drew Lock, for example, I think Denver makes a lot of sense for Andy Dalton.
Okay.
I think that this is a quality option.
I think
he's just not going to fix your issues.
The same teams that are interested in Ryan Fitzpatrick are going to be the same exact teams invested into Andy Dalton. If you can't get Fitzpatrick, your plan B is going to be Andy Dalton. I don't know if Andy Dalton's ever used plan B, but hey, we can find out sooner or later. Who's the better quarterback? Go down in the comments section. Let us know. Jameis Winston type W or Andy Dalton type D. We had a lot of disagreements in the office today,
Winston.
so what I'm trying to figure out here is where you guys stand on this. If you think Jameis Winston's the better quarterback, type W. If you think Andy Dalton's the better quarterback, type D. We got Sam behind the scenes here yawning. He's bored. If you're bored, maybe type some Z's in the comments section. W for Winston, D for Dalton. Number 5 quarterback here on the list, Mitchell Trubisky. Can you really trust anybody with this name?
No, you can't. You absolutely, it's a terrible
name.
First name. He had a weird season, right?
No doubt.
Undefeated, got benched, came back, made the playoffs, and in the end was kind of the same quarterback he's been for much of his NFL career where, he was an early round pick, but honestly, hasn't really shown all that much. There's not much that Trubisky does to go, oh yeah, that's why we love him, or that upside is there. He's just out there. I don't think he's someone that should start football games.
Yeah, but I'll tell you what, he was
better
a lot
than
better
Bortles.
than Nick Foles that he was this past year.
Foles is also bad.
Yes, there's no doubt about that. I will say that I at least thought, though, Trubisky started to play a little bit better down the stretch of the season. And
when
I
they
think
could run the football?
2019, it was really bad. 2018 was decent. The issue with Mitch is he's just never going to be,
He's never going to carry you.
He's never going to be able to carry you.
There will be good games intermixed. There will be. But do you have any confidence in him in the playoffs winning you the game? The Bears didn't.
Do you have confidence in him getting you to the playoffs?
They did it last year, kind of, sort of.
Kind of, sort of. Well,
you know.
Either way, Mitchell Trubisky, number 5 here on our list. We also have an awesome deal going on. If you guys want a new NFL shirt, go to chatsports.com/NFL shirts. So we just got some brand new ones, and they're only $18.74. Usually, they're $25. But for all 32 teams, these are what are known as the X-ray shirts. So all 32 teams.
Okay, it's faded.
See,
Okay,
you can see how it's crossed off.
I get it.
I think they're pretty cool. But anytime we can find an awesome NFL shirt for $18.74, we're going to tell you guys about it. So again, it's all 32 NFL teams. It's at chatsports.com/NFL shirts. Sizes small all the way up to 4XL, I believe. And it's not just black. It's like the team colors as well.
Yeah.
I thought they were pretty sick. Don't let me down here. Some of the people were like, I don't know if these are going to go.
I like the Seahawks
these
one.
These are going to go. Oh, yeah, they're clean.
The green background, it's good. Green,
even the Eagles one, too, is pretty dope. So, chatsports.com/NFL shirts. We're going to put this link in the live chat, and it's going to be in the description. If you don't see your team featured on screen, well, guess what? There's the shirt for them, I promise you. You just got to go to the link and check it out. Let's go to the best hairdo in this show here. Cam Newton, number 6.
I wanted him higher.
I know you did.
I was outvoted, I should say. I wanted him higher.
I saw Cam Newton at the end of the year. That guy that I saw at the end of the year, I don't even know if he deserves to be number 6 on this list. If you could promise me I'm going to get Tom,
he does.
He was so bad at the end of the year.
He wasn't great. There was also no guys around him. The Patriots offense could run the football.
I hear you.
Their offensive line was not a good pass blocking offensive line. They were a good run blocking offensive line, and the receiving core was bad. So, is Newton the guy that won MVP? Absolutely not. Would I gamble on him if I needed a starter? I'd give him a shot if I had better playmakers around him.
I'll tell you what, if you give him a shot, you're going to need some shots.
Obviously, that touchdown-interception ratio is garbage. But if you factor in the 12 touchdowns, Even if you want to throw in the fumble, it's not that bad. It's not good enough. But, I mean, let's say that all of a sudden he goes to a place like Washington where there's Terry McLaurin to actually catch passes from him. And they add another receiver in the draft.
Yep.
I think it could be passable. Newton is no longer the MVP guy that he was, and clearly there was a reason why he went unsigned for so long. Injury played a big role in that. He wasn't the same when he came back from his bout with COVID either. But I would rather have him than Mitchell Trubisky.
Okay.
In a heartbeat.
All right. So how about this, though? We had to rank these quarterbacks, and I'm curious to see what you guys have to say about this. So we obviously ranked it as Jameis Winston, Andy Dalton, Mitch Trubisky, Cam Newton. Tom and I disagree. We had Harrison disagreed with us as well. But out of the 4 quarterbacks that you see on screen, who's the best one? Jameis Winston type JW, Andy Dalton type AD, Mitchell Trubisky, go down in the comments, type MT. If you're going to go with Cam Newton, type CN. Number 7 on our list, it's Tyrod Taylor, who just once again lost his starting job.
To
man,
Justin Herbert and to that trainer. Look, Taylor at this stage of his NFL career, someone I've always liked. He's going to be a backup.
Yep.
He's not going to be someone you start, but he can be, I believe, a high-end backup quarterback.
Agreed.
Like if you're trying to rank every NFL quarterback, Taylor's probably in the top 40-ish.
Oh yeah, I'm with you.
And that's high-end backup quarterback.
I agree.
And he got kind of screwed by Buffalo early on when they benched him to play Nathan Peterman. You guys remember that?
I do.
When they benched Peterman,
that was
and
the
then Taylor came back and still
won.
got into the playoffs. It was wild. He's a good backup quarterback. He's not much else at this stage, but if you want someone who can use his mobility, can have some success, especially on deep passes, frankly, and as a backup game manager type, I think Taylor makes some sense.
I actually do feel bad for Tyrod Taylor, who, I mean, fantasy quarterback, he's legendary because he can get it done with his legs.
He was top 12 for 3 years in a row.
But if you want to talk about a quarterback that has played halfway decent but just gets benched for a younger guy, that's him. I'm going to agree with Tom, though, just more of a backup at this point. Number 8 on our list here of the top free agent quarterbacks in 2021, Jacoby Brissett lost his starting job to Phillip Rivers, which we kind of knew. We got to see a little bit of him in 2019, but again, you're looking at a player here who probably best case scenario is your backup.
He had 2 really good games with the Colts as a starter, and outside of that was pretty darn middling. Now, they had a package for him this year that got him the ball some on the ground as well.
Sure.
Much like Taylor, and I actually would maybe put Brissett over Taylor.
He also threw the Hail Marys as well.
Because Phillip couldn't do it anymore. I think he can be a high-end backup. I wonder if the Patriots, by the way, could look to bring him back.
Okay.
Because they still ran the ball with their quarterback plenty. He's better than Brian Hoyer.
Yes,
He's better than Jarrett Stidham.
Yes, he is.
If he goes to New England, he might start.
Oh, wow. That's
That's not saying anything, but
I mean, it's still an opportunity for him. There's no doubt about that. So the last 2 quarterbacks we talked about, Tyrod Taylor, Jacoby Brissett, both high-end backups. So who do you think is the better quarterback? If you think it's Tyrod, type TT. If you think it's Jacoby Brissett, type JB. Let's now go to the 49ers backup, C.J. Beathard. We also kind of debated Nick Mullins, but he's
still
a restricted
dumb pick, by the way.
Free agent. But we have C.J. Beathard. As you guys can see, after number 8, it's a huge drop down.
Massive cliff. Nothing special.
No.
He should be a cheap backup in the NFL for several years.
Kind of looks like Tom, so we decided to put him on the video. You don't think he looks like you?
A little bit.
Guys, come on. C.J. Beathard kind of looks like Tom.
His head's longer.
Yes, it is. It's not the only thing. All right, number 10 here on the list is Colt McCoy, who at age 35, I still think could maybe get a few things done here, at least with his legs. Still maybe kind of mobile.
No.
Okay.
No, he's 34.
Cool. He's all right.
He's gonna. Someone's gonna sign him.
Oh yeah.
He's bordering on the new Chase Daniel.
Oh,
he just sticks around as a backup for years. Daniel's not a free agent.
Gonna be Mark Sanchez. So
aging backup quarterback. You know what? If you want a veteran to help you out your young guy, sure. You don't ever want him to play football games.
Yeah,
never, ever do you want that to happen.
I'm totally with you there. So those were our top 10 quarterbacks on the free agent list. I think top 8 is pretty easy.
Yeah,
the last 2 is kind of difficult. But maybe we forgot a name. Maybe we disrespected somebody. Let us know. I mean, which quarterback did we leave off the list? If there's somebody that pops up into your mind. Like, I know some people might say Joe Flacco. I just couldn't.
You hate Flacco.
I couldn't put him in my top 10.
You hate Flacco.
I just couldn't
you ranked
do it
him
in my
negative
heart.
100. It was wild. You tanked it.
So which quarterback did we leave off the list? Let us know. Here's our top 10 one more time. Dak Prescott clearly number 1. Then Ryan Fitzpatrick, number 2. There's been some debate here at Chat Sports between 3, 4, 5, and number 6 with Cam Newton. The top 2 end up backups, probably Tyrod Taylor, Jacoby Brissett, and then C.J. Beathard, Colt McCoy. They're going to round out our top 10. If you made it this far in the video, we appreciate you. Please give us a like. And if you haven't subscribed to Chat Sports yet, I don't know what you're waiting for. Hit that big red button that says subscribe. And if you have, send that link, youtube.com/chatsportstv, to some friends.